Lies and Truth. BD0567 from September 3, 1938, taken from book number 12. So follow the voice within you which calls you to order, and do not fall into the error of following any request which is not audible in your heart but only comes from outside. You will soon recognize the essential difference of what you hear if you only always give honor to the truth, i.e., do not allow yourselves to be beguiled by blind words, but only act as you should deem right. You can always find a pleasant side to any matter by deviating from the truth or making concessions. But then the person does not take the right path of knowledge, but remains in spiritual error until he has taken the path of pure truth. For only through this can the degree of maturity be achieved that is the condition for entering into eternal bliss. In full realization of the truth, straying onto the path of lies is doubly painful and harmful for the soul. For man was given the intellect to recognize, and he should inevitably also act in accordance with what knowledge dictates to him through the inner voice that tells him exactly what God's will is. If the voice is heeded, it becomes a friend of man. It helps him out of every need and danger. Like a faithful guardian, it is concerned about the salvation of man's soul and protects him with all seriousness from going astray. And if a person is fully accountable to himself, he will also listen attentively to the inner voice. He will cultivate the truth and never deviate from the path of truth. And eternal truth is also accessible to a truth-loving child, but never again to a child of lies. Man must give an account to himself, the voice of the heart must be his own judge, and he must take a sharp and unforgiving stand against his offenses. He must recognize himself and try to improve, and he can only do this with the fullest sense of truth in his heart. For the lie whitewashes everything and will never accuse him of wrongdoing. It will only ever excuse him and never spur him on to ever greater love of truth. So you must never fall victim to this vice. You must seek the truth, even if it is sometimes harder to bear. You must not make any concessions, but must remain strictly truthful. If you also want to partake of divine truth. For God, as the eternal truth, can only communicate himself to a thoroughly truth-loving child who detests lies and never takes advantage of them. You yourselves will gain the greatest advantage from it and will be considered unabridged, and thus you will also be able to proclaim pure truth again, and such will remain forever. Amen.